Hello everyone. So I want to walk you through my project. This is my presentation for assignment 6.3, users defined functions and triggers. So I'll be walking you through all my scripts in an organized manner where I had to extract the first and the last names from the customer data, and also I had to modify them. So I had to modify them. So the first script, this is the first script. The first script starts with just a question. So I ask a question, how will I extract the first name from the contact name? So I'm explaining how this is going to happen. So the data has a combined like Maria Andreas. So I need but only Maria. So this just asking a clear question for step one. So the second script, yeah, I'm going explaining the process or how I'm going to help you, the people, someone who is reading to understand my document. So I'm documenting how it's going to happen. So the first name is extracted before the space. So the first name is extracted before the space. The first name is extracted before the space. Now my strategy or the method I'm going to use is that I'm going to use the Charandex to find the space, and then I'm going to use the left to get what the first name. So that's how it's going to happen. So here's my first query, my first actual query. So I'm going to run this query to understand the data. So you understand the data, how the data is being contact named, you see the table and everything. Yeah, let's move to the next. Now here in this in four, so I do a test. I want to test the using what both the left contact and the Charadex, you know, to get it. So notice that notice how I I paste the first name. I paste the first name. Notice how I do that in the column to extract it. So once I execute this, you notice that paste the first name has extracted. We have extracted all the first name. Thomas has been extracted. Christina has been extracted and has been placed here. So this is for script 4. Now for script 5, this is script 5. What I simply did in script 5 is here is the actual user defined function. So I'm converting my ad hoc into usable functions called user defined function phase. So if you come here, I'm going to drop everything, then I'm going to convert it to a users defined function. So you can see a select that. Notice the proper header documentation is very important. So if you do that, okay, let me bring this up so that you can see everything has been extracted and it's very proper. Now, in the next script, which is very important, the script is important. What I simply did was it's a zero, call it a zero row test. You see, so you just mm, do it, you run it. So if my function was correctly, the query returns what? A zero row test. No issues, nothing is happening. We go to the next, which is script 8. Now, so script 8 in script this is zero row test here. This is a zero row text, so it prints zero. So if it runs correctly, there's a zero row text. So script 8 completes the first function, the first name function. It completes the first name function. Here is it. You see, it completes the first name function. And this query, so it asks the question, the next question, which is how I extract what the last name. So it comes and asks a question. So we're done with the first name function. We're going to move to the next script. Let me open it up. Okay, so here also, when I come to the script of what I did, the first thing I did is I simply asked the question. So we simply ask the question. how to extract the last name. So it's the same thing as we did the first time we asked how do we extract. How do I track? You see, how do I track? Mhm. How do we do that? We continue in the same. So we are going to the last name. You notice that here we explain a strategy. First, we extract from either space to n using what? Substrings. And the substring is this, and then we find the first position. So now you notice that now here we use the ad hoc. We use the ad hoc. You do that, you execute, and the next. Now we extract the last name. Here it has been implemented. Top 20 substring contact name Charandex. So here notice that we put it in the paste last name. Yes, it has extracted all the last name. Lincoln, Cytos, Moss, it has extracted every last name. So it's very correct. The code is okay. Here now we create what the users define scalar function. Same as we did the other way, we create all the users different scalar function. The execute is working properly. So here we compare it to the ad hoc query result. When you compare both, you notice that they are the same, right? They are the same, so it works perfectly. So it works very perfectly. So at the end, you do now the null, zero performance, expect nothing to come out, and it works perfectly. So that is how it functions. That is what we do for the last and the first name. So here's just a program now to run both the last and the first name so that everything will come out on the same on the table. So that's it. Okay, so now we are going to get into the trigger fun for trigger. For trigger, so the first one we asked the question how to keep track when when a record was modified, how to keep track when a record was lastly modified. So we need to automatically update last modified column whenever data is in a row. That's how it works. So here we show how that is going to happen. So it explains. Now here we explain what we are going to do, how we are going to make sure that that happens. So we take our time to explain. We think about creating the answer. We are going to use the R table, the last modified date name default get. So we are going to we use that last modified date equals to get date for affected rows. So that is the method we are going to use to function properly. So here, what we simply did here uh, was what we simply did here was to what we simply did here we created the triggers. You see, we created a trigger, created a trigger. So the trigger will fire automatical update, set last name, last modified date, and get name, and use inserted pseudo table to identify the inserted pseudo table to identify updated row. So this is it. When you execute, we are having an issue here. See, So it's okay. Level 16, let's go there. Z1, 42. Let me see this. 16 some modified. Have I touched something? Completion time, last modified date. Okay.